UNP government bringing in a Counter-Terrorism Act. So we all asked the government to repeal the Prevention of Terrorism Act. Late last year, the government said, okay, we will repeal the Prevention of Terrorism Act, but in its place, we will bring in a Counter-Terrorism Act. We'll tell you that the Counter-Terrorism Act is equally or more draconian than the Prevention of Terrorism Act. For the first time in Sri Lanka, military has been given police powers. Our civil administration, for the first time in Sri Lanka, is being militarized through law. For the first time in Sri Lanka, emergency is being made permanent. For the first time in Sri Lanka, the police can produce secret reports in courthouses under the Counter-Terrorism Act. We are moving from a democratic country to a militarized country. So we have to ask ourselves, whose interest is the government bringing the Counter-Terrorism Act? Certain fundamentalist group within the country who believe a country can only be developed under a militarized regime. It is in the interest of pleasing these groups that the government is bringing this. Another group, I believe, are the Western countries. Our elected representatives have gone on record saying that it is from the pressure of the United States and countries like the European Union that they are bringing in this counter-terror legislation. But we do have legislation in this country. We do have 14 acts dealing with terrorism. We do have penal code provisions dealing with situations of violence. So while we have such legislations in place, why do we need a counter-terror legislation? We can be free of laws which are empowering the arms of the government to unleash terror on our citizens. We have the power to do this. The question is, do our political representatives have the moral and the political courage to take the right decision and repeal the Prevention of Terrorism Act and not replace it with another Counter-Terrorism Act? Therefore, as citizens, as people, as members of the Young Lawyers Association, we demand from the government that they do the politically and morally correct thing and they repeal the Prevention of Terrorism Act and not replace it with a counter-terror legislation and withdraw the counter-terror legislation from the order paper of Parliament.